course, U.S. President Donald Trump imposed a 25% tariff on vehicles built outside the United States last month, prompting automaker Stellantis to cut back its assembly production at the Windsor, Ontario facility. The uncertainties brought by the tariffs have also been exacerbated by a slow EV market. Joining us now is Flavio Volpe, president of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. Flavio, always appreciate your time. What impact will the production postponement of this line have?
Look, for suppliers and workers, what they want to know is, are we going to continue to make the same number of units? And the answer is yes. What we're seeing here is Stellantis makes two different vehicles there, the Chrysler Pacifica, which is the minivan, and the Dodge Charger. And there's a series of variants of this Charger. There's a high-performance Scat Pack that's a higher price, that the market for those cars, especially in the U.S., are less price sensitive. They might be able to absorb a tariff a little bit better. This Daytona RT was the entry level, is the entry level EV, and then there's an internal combustion version. What they're saying here, this company is, fighting for its well-being here in the face of not just Donald Trump's 25% tariffs, but also gutting the EV purchase incentive of $7,500 in the U.S. They're saying, look, this one's a little bit more price sensitive. We'll make more of these and of these in the interim. It's a great vehicle. I've bought 6 of them over the last 20 years myself. It's a vehicle that Americans use to wave their flag culturally. It's the Charger. It couldn't be more American if it tried. And it's made in a suburb of Detroit, just happens to be on the other side of the border. It's more of an indication of how incoherent the tariff policy of the White House is right now. They struck a deal with the UK last 2 weeks ago, where there's less tariff on a Jaguar imported into Detroit than there is of a Charger being sold to somebody in Indiana. I appreciate that Stellantis is trying to juggle the products that they make there, and they're still committed to the Daytona. It's not being committed anywhere else. They wouldn't be able to retool for it in time. But, hopefully when American stakeholders hear about the fact that they can't get a Charger, and to those ones that matter, congressional reps, senators, governors, because it just happens to be over there rather than coming from the other side of the Atlantic, we could talk some sense into them.
Of course, with so much uncertainty, the tariffs, and you mentioned the loss of the EV incentives, Canada's industry minister says she's received assurances Stellantis is committed to Canada. Is that enough assurance?
Yes, look, I speak to the same people she does, and I'm very happy that she's very proactive. We've seen that this government committed during the election for a $2 billion Made in Canada fund for these companies to say, look, maybe some of what you need from us is help from us, not just, we don't need to fight with you and hold you over the barrel. Canadians buy 2 million cars a year. We make just under that in a normal year. We buy a lot of Stellantis product. I think what a lot of these companies are looking for now is, how do you take that $2 billion commitment and turn it into a policy that helps them adjust what they make in Windsor and all the other plants to match Canadian tastes, so that we can build in some insurance here to not having to be subject to the whim of the tariff man in Washington. I know that the people at Stellantis in Windsor are Canadians who are fighting for the Canadian footprint. This includes their job. We don't need to fight with them. The fight is with Washington.
Right. Flavio Volpe, president of the Automotive Parts Manufacturers Association. Flavio, always appreciate your time and insight. Thanks so much today.